So, Operation Desert Stumble is the second episode in the Amazon TV show The Grand Tour. After the first episode, which is a good start, this episode gave me mixed feelings. However, it is only the second episode, and perhaps they're still trying to experiment with different scenarios. But don't get me wrong, this episode did have loads of good moments among some really drawn out and tired moments as well. So something new we haven't seen before was a new intro. It wasn't really as captivating as Top Gear's intro. It probably needed a new jingle to catch the viewer's attention right from the get-go. The tense location this week was set in Johannesburg, bringing it with it a new crowd and new backdrop. So right from the get-go, some pretty bold jokes were made by the trio on some controversial topics, such as the President Zuma or the high carjacking rates in South Africa. Though this is quite modest compared to some of the jokes in the previous episode. The segment about Zuma and his inability to read out numbers did feel a bit forced, with the same joke being made multiple times by the three of them. So following this, they had one of the cars I've been looking forward to being reviewed, and that was the Aston Martin Vulcan. I've got to say it's easily one of the best looking cars out at the moment, and the beautiful cinematography during the review did it great justice. Obviously, after Jeremy demonstrated the car, it had a certain lap time, and this is where the Grand Tour's replacement of the stick comes in. Otherwise known as the American, he doesn't really fit with the humour of the trio, and in my opinion, his jokes are very bland. I mean, granted, they'd need a neutral driver for lap times around their Bolodrome, but I feel he is not the best bet. Definitely, the biggest part of the show is when the three of them go to Jordan to take part in a military assault course. Their objective was to rappel down from a helicopter, storm a building, kill some terrorists, and then rescue a VIP. The direction of the segment was particularly good, and there were many references made to Edge of Tomorrow here. However, with the great humour sections they did have in the skit, they did overplay the whole Edge of Tomorrow aspect of it, and the goofiness in combat a bit too much. Not really a spoiler, but there is a segment where someone is killed over 5 times, and they just keep redoing the segment again and again and again, and it gets a bit cumbersome after a while. There wasn't really much involvement of a car here other than they used an Audi S8 to rescue the VIP. And they did try and fit a review for it, but it was very brief. So once more, we have the celebrity section where a celebrity is killed off in a different way each week. I mean, this can be quite humorous and daft, but mainly it's a shot at the BBC and the strict policy of preventing celebrity interviews from happening on the Grand Tour for copyright reasons. I think the joke can get a bit boring after a while. I mean, especially if they're going to have it happen each week, it is going to get a bit dull. And they do have to vary around a little bit. A semi-segment that I really liked was called Making James May Do Things He Doesn't Like. And this week, he was featured in taking part in a spinning event, which is basically where cars do donuts and drivers do stunts until the tires burst. It's quite funny seeing James out of his comfort zone, and I hope they do continue this. It almost reminds me of An Idiot Abroad, but with James instead. So overall, this episode had its good and bad moments. It was less of a car show and more of them goofing about with a large budget. Though that was one of the main things that we did like about them when they were in the BBC and in Top Gear. However, if you see some of the better episodes of Top Gear, it was a combination of this, cars, and challenges that really tied together the whole package of them and Top Gear. This episode didn't really have that much compared to the first episode. But overall, it was enjoyable, and I'm giving it a rating of 7.5 out of 10. So this is my first ever time doing a review, and if you did like it, please give me a like and or subscribe if you really enjoyed it, and I'll continue making more reviews for you guys. If you have any suggestions, please leave them down in the comment sections below.